Guys, you know my love of Magic Spoon. It's low in sugar and it tastes great. I can feel good about eating it. My kids love it, and I can feel good about giving it to them. If you love cereal, click the link below to get some Magic Spoon cereal today. You can build your very own variety box and use my code Chael. That's going to get you $5 off. You can choose from the best-selling Cocoa, Fruity, Frosted, Peanut Butter, Cookies and Cream, and Maple Waffle Plus, Honey Nut, Blueberry Muffin, and Cinnamon Roll. You can also add the Cookies and Cream and Cocoa Peanut Butter flavor cereal bars to your variety box. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it is backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. That means if you aren't satisfied for any reason, they refund all your money, no questions asked. So click on the link below, use the code Chael, that's going to get you $5 off. Or go to magicspoon.com/Chael, save $5 off a box today. Who should Colby fight? You know, that's a very hard question. I've pondered this for a period of time. I've pondered this largely since the Masvidal fight. Who should Colby fight? And I know I've done this math for you a million times to the point that it's getting redundant, but you do have the number one ranked guy. You have the number one contender who can't fight for a championship. Well, that just changed. Now that Kamaru Usman is not at the helm, that just changed. But I don't believe that Colby or anybody else is in the discussion, at least immediately, to fight Leon. It's Kamaru's fight. It's exactly what it appears. Now, who should Colby fight? Okay, great. Here, let's just treat Colby like we do anybody else. Give me the list of guys that called him out. Go ahead. Start with the first guy. Let's just take the top 3 guys that have called him out. Go ahead. Who was the first? See the problem? So we don't get to do Colby like everybody else. Nobody has called him out. As a matter of fact, if you want to do that literally, you want to know anybody that's even said his name and said it negatively and wasn't kidding, was Belal Muhammad, and you give Belal that credit. Belal wants that fight, and he would take that fight. Now, there's other badasses there. Gilbert Burns will take that fight, but Gilbert appears to be tied up and going in a different direction. Rakhmonov and Wonder Boy, as of last week, were tied up and going in a different direction. Chimaev has a partner. His name is Diaz, appears to be going in a different direction. Not to mention, if he wins, we think it's the number one contender. Who are you going to give Colby? It's a very interesting position. You have an interim champion who never lost it but is no longer the interim champion. You have a gentleman who beat the BMF champion but was not awarded a BMF championship. I mean, you have a very interesting position. I had a recommendation, which is he take that golden ticket of number one contendership and he cash it in at a different weight class, 185 pounds. That wasn't a rejected idea by the champion in Adesanya. Adesanya halfway got it, but then the Era thing came about. Now that was going to be a straw man argument to start with. I'm just saying we can at least get a little dialogue going. And that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just asking, who should Colby fight? I'm just asking you the question. Then, the last Dana spoke about him was very recently. This is in the last 2 weeks. And Dana said, we won't have any trouble at all getting Colby a fight because Colby has contacted us and let us know that he'll fight at 55 or 70. Timeout. Timeout. Colby did do that. I saw the piece where Colby let everyone know that he will fight at 55 or 70 or 85. He was trying to prove a point. And I do think that that's relevant to know, okay? He's the number one contender at 170 pounds, which he earned. He beat the BMF champion and won the interim championship, of which he never, I mean, okay, there's stuff that he's earned. Please don't take that from him. And just because he said 55, I mean, he was trying to show his willingness. Now, he would do it if you had the right opportunity down at 155 pounds, but that isn't presenting itself. That runs into the same position of who's called him out. You could answer that question. Sure, you could. Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier's fighting Michael Chandler. And if we start looking in the direction of 55, thinking that we're opening up parity, I feel we're actually closing. I think it's a mistake. Let's go back to 70. Let's just stay right here. But there is a situation where sometimes you have to wait. Guys, my teammate, Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone is the third best guy in the world, okay? I love him. I'll vouch for him. But in fairness, we got a couple of guys that we're still working on. That's true. I don't know what Ricky's ranked, but I don't think it's 3. I believe it's 5. He's the third best guy in the world. And this was just yesterday. Working his ass off. He's in the gym. He's fun. Ricky Simone is fun. So, hey, what do you do? What's going on, though? Give me an update. And he said, man, I got to let some fights play out. He said, where I'm at and where I'm ranked and the guys that I've competed with versus the guys I'm eligible and make sense to compete with, those guys are booked. I just got to wait till some of the stuff. I got to wait for the Sean O'Malley's and the Peter Yans. I got to let some of the stuff open up. Wait and see what Sandhagen's doing. Talk with Dillashaw. Is Jose Aldo retired? What's Cheeto next move? He's got to wait. And that's not a position that you want to be in, but it was a very fair answer when he told me that. And this wasn't just him speaking. He had a conversation with Maynard, with Shelby, with his manager, some group thought like this, and this was the answer that the computer spit out the back end. Made perfect sense. Not the one that you want, and it makes perfect sense. I say that to you because is that just what Colby needs to do? Is that it? Because if it is, where does he go as you see a likely scenario? Do you think it's likely that Leon beats Kamaru second time? Which would make Colby eligible just to go in that direction. Wouldn't guarantee that he would get it, but he is the number one contender. It would make him eligible. Lahal Muhammad being the only guy who's called Colby out and means it. The only guy. But he's busy with Sean Brady. How is that match going to go? What if Sean Brady remains undefeated? What if? Sean Brady is a stud, but Colby's looking for something specific that Sean may not fill that category. I'm talking about name. I'm talking about somebody that you can draw. I'm talking about somebody that you can main event with, right? Just put it on the table. And when you're dealing with a number one contender, I don't feel that you're dealing with somebody that's being difficult. I think you have the appearance of somebody that's being difficult. Somebody like Colby who said, I'll cover a spread at 85 down to 55 and I'll even stop off for my own weight class. I think is the opposite of difficult, but to act as though he's not owed something. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, guys. Yes, he is. This is an interim champion who never lost but isn't the champion. This is a guy who beat the BMF but was never awarded a championship. This is a number one contender who's not going to fight for the belt. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but until you get me off that, I don't feel you have the right to tell me that I'm wrong. You know my relationship with Colby. I don't hide it. There's a bias. But what I just said is true. Very. And he is looking for something. And he doesn't get to go under the normal criteria of what's big and who's waiting for him and who's challenging him. Try that on for size. But that comes back to the only point I'm trying to make, which is a respected guy that you need to show respect to. So if he's a little bit difficult to get in the ring, there's certain things that a number one contender is looking for, who had an interim belt taken from him, not in the ring. I can't even remember that story. I truly can't even remember how he was the interim and woke up one day and wasn't. I just don't remember it. I know how the BMF happened, which is they didn't put it on the paper, they didn't contest it. It's a unique spot. Don't do the 55 business. Don't do that. We're not going 55. They're not letting us go up to 85, so let's stay at 170. Who should Colby fight?